What's up, guys? This is Brandon and Danny from Boar.
And you're listening to the Heavy Mental Breakdown.
Hell yeah, you are listening to another episode of Heavy Mental Breakdown with the boys from Boar. You guys are from New York, right?
We
Yep.
are, yes.
So am I. I am hanging out in Bushwick, Brooklyn right now.
Shit.
Whereabouts are you guys?
So I'm Long Island.
I'm over in Astoria, so not too far from you.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're just a little north of me. How long have you guys always been based in New York? Are you guys both born and raised out here?
Yep,
Pretty much.
It's Brandon is more of a Long Island guy, and I'm kind of like split between the city and Long Island.
Oh, okay. What Long Island's actually really fun. There's a couple places out there, like Stereo Garden I've been to. Mulcahy's I think is a great spot.
Yep.
There's a really great concert venue out there. I think it's Jones Beach. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Jones-
I've had many a sloppy nights growing up in the parking lot of Jones Beach.
Yes, sir.
I bet. I just went there for the first time. I think it was called the Summer of Loud with it was Parkway Drive and I Prevail and Beartooth and a couple other bands. It was my first time there, and I always really appreciate a good fucking outdoor venue. Like you're just sitting out, like 300 level, kind of the cheap seats. But in my opinion, you have the best seat in the house when you're up high. You can see the water, especially when there's fireworks going, and it's a cool spot. Long Island has some really great spots for music.
Yeah, for sure. Jones Beach is fun, but if you're in those 300 seats during like in the middle of a storm, it's the worst. You're just getting blasted with rain and wind.
I bet.
Barely hear the PA.
What is kind of like the rock and metal scene looking like when you guys are doing live shows out and where you guys are at?
These days, circle around like Amityville Music Hall or like Massapequa VFW.
Okay. Amityville Music Hall. I went to the Amityville Horror House one time because I'm a big horror nerd.
Yep.
I was like, I gotta go see the house.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was an Amityville Music Hall. That's pretty cool. I want
Yeah,
to check that spot
it's actually right down the road from where the house
Really?
is.
It's right there. Yeah, because Amityville is kind of a small little part of Long Island, isn't it?
Yeah.
The true story behind the Amityville house is actually like really depressing. It's so what happened was it was just the mentally ill son. Like he was the oldest son of the family, and he was just kind of like the local crazy town drunk. Snapped, killed his family, and then the family that moved in, they were the ones that kind of made up all the ghost stuff to kind of capitalize on it. And it became this kind of exploited this like small town tragedy and made it into this like horror kind of franchise.
Yeah, I definitely have heard multiple different stories about what actually happened and what was reported to have happened. I don't know what to believe. Being a filmmaker myself and a screenwriter, I want to think that the script to the movie is what actually happened, but probably
not.
It's
probably
not
cool.
though.
Yeah, growing up, I would always hear like older people that kind of would like grew up in Amityville and grew up around that family, and they were like, "Nah, that didn't happen. Like that dude was messed up, and yeah, he was in a bad way."
Interesting. Yeah, I've only been out in New York for a couple years now, but I don't know anybody that like lives out there and has ever said anything. So I definitely trust the locals for sure.
Yeah.
Well, how long have you guys been? How long has Boar been going?
Since 2018, we started.
All right, so you guys are a pre-COVID band, which I like to say, and I'm saying that because a lot of artists who I've interviewed. There's been like this really cool kind of rise of bands during COVID. There was a lot of people who were like, I've got nothing else to do. I'm going to make some music. So I always like talking to pre-COVID bands just because I like kind of understanding like how you guys did your stuff during COVID, or if you guys kind of just took like a hiatus, which some bands did for a little bit. Like, what was Boar's? Because like you guys started in 2018. And then not even about 2 years into your band, things kind of go a little nuts. Like, how did you guys get through that time era, and how was it for you?
COVID, honestly, was actually a blessing for our band.
A lot of people say that.
it really offered us an opportunity to kind of find what eventually would have become this newest album. Right before COVID, we were working with our original drummer, and we had, I think, put out an EP or two by that time, and we were supposed to go on the road with our friends in Under the Pier, and then COVID happened, and like the world shuts down, and we're trying to figure out what to do, and then things just kind of imploded with our original drummer, and things ended with that, and randomly we found our other drummer. Just like through he liked one of our videos, and I looked at his Instagram, and he was just like playing like jazz rudiments, and he had tattoos and plugs in his ears. And I was like, I messaged in, I was like, I'm messaging this dude.
The plugs means he knows what's up.
Yeah.
Oh, he sent that to me, and I was like, he's playing jazz and he's got plugs. He listens to Number 12 Looks Like You.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I messaged Dale, and I think it was like a week later, he came out to the studio, and we immediately just started jamming. And then, you couldn't play shows. We had to wear masks in the room. We didn't know what was going on. And luckily at the time we had a really big studio space. So we were all just in each other's, in our own separate corners, just writing a ton of music for 2 years. And without the pressure of we got to go play shows. We got to go do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It was like, we can just sit in this space and figure out sounds and do whatever we want, and it offered us the ability to get kind of creative, and that's kind of what amalgamated into this new record.
I love how you said the pressure was off, because I think a lot of people felt that too, and not even just musicians, but just everyday people. We're just like, well, there's no expectations for me right now, and that let a lot of people's minds just wander and be free and open and just kind of not care what anybody thought.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going through something right now, so I need to create some art. And I think a lot of the best art came out of that time.
Yeah, we would have friends come up to us and be like, are you guys sure you should be in a room and together with all this going on? And we were all kind of like, yeah, but if we don't, we're gonna go crazy. So
yeah.
So
there was definitely a very weird balance going on there.
So we I mean, it was definitely a blessing in the fact though, pre-COVID, I feel like we were just trying to be a compilation of all the bands that we really liked. Sure. And then when COVID happened, we were able to kind of sit and really jam and kind of
who are we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we were able to take time to get a little bit weird and maybe stray away from the obvious. Because when we started, it was we all like Every Time I Die, we all like Converge, we all love Glassjaw, and we all like Botch. So we just kind of those 4 bands, the first 2 EPs is just dogging them, and then this album is when we finally were all right, nah, we're us.
Okay, well then that brings up a great question so how did you guys view your band and your music pre-COVID and after COVID? Do you feel, I know you already said it was a blessing in disguise, but I'm sure that once you were finally able to realize you're you know what, we need to be ourselves in this. We can't keep trying to go off this structure, this system that everybody kind of uses. Let's be bored. And let's do our own thing. Is that kind of how it happened, or do you think it kind of just happened naturally, just kind of in the state of the world at the time?
I think it was definitely natural, because
because
it was just the world shut down, and also at the time I shattered my hand, so I was recovering from a hand surgery.
Ouch!
So the first
you were
couple
rocking
songs,
out too hard. That's what happened.
One could put it that way. So when I was recovering, I could only play with 2.5 fingers. So I could use my ring finger because it was my fretting hand. So I could use my ring finger to kind of stay stationary, and I could use my pointer and my middle finger to I could apply pressure with those. So the first 2 songs that I wrote while I was recovering was all 3-finger kind of riffing, and I think that kind of unconsciously forced me to be to kind of put me in a box, so I had to think more creatively, and I feel that kind of became a jump off point for me for a lot of the newer stuff.
Interesting, very interesting. Yeah, it's really weird how random things will happen to us, good and bad, that will just change our perspective or force us to change our perspective on something, and it ends up working out. It's kind of weird how that happens.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And then just also COVID, a lot of, I got laid off from my day job, so it was a lot of sitting at home, getting stoned and playing guitar.
Hell yeah. And then just getting stoned alone brings out all the creative juices. So there you go.
For sure.
So you talk about, kind of early bore. You guys are going off of your influences, and I know you named a couple already, but who are some of the biggest influences that you were listening to at the time? I know you said Converge, and you brought up a couple other bands. Were those kind of the biggest ones?
Yeah, really Converge, Every Time I Die, The Chariot, Botch, like Coalesce was one, Glassjaw. But Glassjaw is more kind of like in the Glassjaw just has the best rhythms, man. They always had like they would always have. It's like so tribal and like Latin and rhythmic. Like they always, it was always, they never would have like the obvious rhythm or percussion going, and it was always the sickest thing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always fell back on a lot on obviously the Every Time I Die stuff, and then also like on a lot of like the Me Without You, kind of like very emotional yelling kind of thing. But I've been listening to that since I was a teenager. I'm one of those jaded musicians that like never breaks away. But then I'll listen to like a ton of folk music and like hip hop, so it doesn't make any sense.
Love it. No, I mean, music is music, no matter what genre it is, and if it helps you, if it inspires you, then keep rocking out with it.
When we started Bore, it was like the first heavy band I had been in for years, so it was like those bands, me personally, I was latching onto them to kind of give me like a North Star of like, how do I play metal again? How do I play like hardcore again?
Okay.
And then I was able to kind of...
Is that your guys' past? Have you guys kind of been in and out of bands or have other projects before this, and then this happened, you're like, oh shit, we have something here?
So our bass player Sid and I were in a band called Mutiny Abroad for a long time, and at one point in Mutiny Abroad, our guitar player was going to step down and Danny was going to join. So we were working together, and then something happened and our guitar player eventually didn't leave. But at that point, we were just circling the drain at that point. We all knew it, we all saw it coming, and then eventually it kind of ended. And I called Danny and was like, hey man, like I don't want to stop doing hardcore music, like I still have more, like I want to. So then him and I met up and we just kind of started jamming on the first couple songs, and then Sid and our other guitar player got involved in the beginning, and then eventually morphed into what we are now.
Yeah, so 7 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
Does it feel like you guys have been rocking for that long?
Yeah,
it does.
I don't mean that
it's taken a little bit of a toll.
like Sid and I, my bass player and I, like Sid and I have been playing music together since 2012.
Okay.
And Danny and I, we've been playing music together since 2017, I think, is when you started kind of messing around with Mutiny, and now we're here.
Okay. So you guys have always kind of had just like this musical background and interest in doing this, and this was just the one that kind of stuck.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in and out of bands since I was 16. And all different kinds of bands. I used to be a bass player. I was in a pop punk band. I was in a surf punk band. A New York hardcore style band. Like I've been all over the place. And then when I finally got into doing vocals, I was like, this is the right place for me. This is where I feel the most comfortable.
I always love hearing stories like that, because that's how I was when I was in high school. Like I was doing all the talent shows and like little local silly things, and it just never stuck. I think it was largely in part of just the dynamic of the band and just what we had going on in our everyday lives and what were priorities and college and jobs and everything. It kind of just never really stuck. So when I hear stories of like, oh, we've known each other for this long and we go back and we've all done this, I always have a lot of respect for that, because I was one of those kids who was like, I want to be in a band. I'll do whatever you guys want me to do, and just never really stuck. So I definitely always appreciate that when I see it. The hustle never stops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's always there. So we are here today because we are breaking down your song called Bungled.
Yep.
So how long has this one been out? And what's a little bit of a background on just this song specifically?
Bungled is so. This is the first single that we released off of our album before we even announced the album. I think we released it, Brandon. What was it, like last December?
I think so.
Yeah,
Been a
yeah.
minute.
It's
Well, it
been
was before we even knew we were going to work with Silent Pendulum, so it's been a little bit.
yeah. So yeah, it's the first one we released off of the album. It was one of the last songs that got done for the album because the lyrics were. I think we had the music for a while, but this one and the title track "Feral," like we got the lyrics in and like all the placement and melodies for everything like under the wire. Like
Yeah.
Bungled, we were writing it in the band apartment of the studio we were recording it at. Like
Mhm.
everything else we went in prepared with. Bungled, we were kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
Interesting. It's interesting that you say that and you talk about the lyrics and everything kind of came under the wire when this is the song that we're breaking down, and it seems like it has very powerful lyrics to it. Do you think that is that one of the reasons why it kind of took a little bit because you knew, knowing that this was like one of the first ones that you did and you wanted more time with it, so you kind of pushed it back to spend a little bit more time on it? Is that kind of what happened with this one?
Oh, partially. So the reason it took so long is totally my fault because I'm the kind of guy that will write down a bunch of lyrics and then I'll show them to Danny and be like, "That's sick," and I'll be like, "No, they're not," and I'll throw them away. And like,
Ah,
it takes me
I got
forever. And Danny's really good at getting it out of me. Like we'll sit in our studio when we know we're writing, or like when we're doing pre-production, and just sitting there going back and forth line over line and like just kind of mulling over everything, and it takes a long time. But the other part of this was I was kind of throwing a fit about there's a part in the song where it does this like weird jazzy thing, and like I talk, and like I was so uncomfortable doing that part, knowing like because it's kind of out of my wheelhouse. I don't really have any emotion behind it. I'm just kind of like monotone talking. And like when we did it in the studio, it was really cool. Our producer Adam turned all the lights off. He lit a candle. He put on videos of like Jeffrey Dahmer, and was like, just look at this and just be weird. And like it was just the whole time I was like, this is so weird. And then once it was finally done, I was like, oh, cool. I'm glad we did that. Like,
yeah, it's always interesting when there's like dialogue in a song.
mhm.
It's gotta mean something. You know, it can't just be like a filler thing because people feel it. So whenever you are talking in a song, it stands out. So it's really important, and it puts a lot
Yeah.
of and I can definitely see the pressure that it would put on someone who's not used to doing
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, and then to your other point, like there's a lot of Danny and I both kind of co-wrote this together, and it's very much like on the like I've lost my internal spark. I don't feel passion. Everything is gray kind of thing. Both of us were trying to articulate those feelings in the lyrics.
Yeah. When was this song? Like, what year was this song written? Probably in 2024 or late 2023 ish.
Nah, I would say 22.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think that's when
Yeah.
we started working on it. Mm, Yeah, because we recorded. When did we recorded like 2 years ago, and
No,
then
so
it took it
we finished tracking in May of 24
23.
May of 2023. May of 23 we finished tracking.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and then
Bungle
it took about a year to get the mixes and masters back.
Yeah, and then
Gotcha.
Bungled we wrote it quick. Bungled's one of the a majority of the songs basically are I'll write the kind of skeleton of the song, I'll bring it to the guys and they'll kind of tear it apart and put it back together. Bungled is one of the ones where we freestyle jam wrote the whole song. It just completely came up spontaneously. That's why the weird little jazz parts in there. That was like something I think we were jamming on for like a year before we were able to shoehorn it into a song.
Interesting. So looking back on it now, how do you feel about these lyrics and how you were able to get it out?
Oh, I
Well,
love how it came out.
yeah, I'm very happy with the lyrics. I'm happy with the way the song came out for sure. I think it sounds great. I still doing it live. I still kind of have that like second of hesitation of like, fuck, I got to do this right now. Like, but like live, I almost wish that I could re-record it because live now I've done it so many times where like I've found a little bit more of like, um,
Found your rhythm.
yeah, kind of where like I can kind of add a little flavor into that talking part where like on the record it's very one note, very monotone.
Yeah.
So I have mixed feelings about it, but overall I'm super proud of the song. I'm really happy for it. It's a difficult song to perform. And it was a difficult song to write.
When you say difficult to perform, in what way? Are you mostly kind of talking about the dialogue?
I mean, like the technique of like breathing and
Okay.
screaming like that, and then talking. And there's a really fast part
Gotcha.
that like there's no breaths, and like learning to like in the studio you can do a line and take a breath, do a line and take a breath,
Sure.
but live like you gotta lock it up and get it all out.
Yeah. It's almost like the one that you walk off stage and you're like, all right, thank you for coming out, so you have to leave and take a breather because you know this one's going to be brutal. Yeah, it's like first song. It's like the first song after the fake finale.
Yeah.
There's always a break in the set after we play Bungle.
All right, this is Bungled by Boar. Let's break it down. Love the vocals, man.
Thank you.
Love the vocals there, and those and like the way that you guys break it down to when you say "wreck my head," how it just kind of like slows down right there too.
Yeah.
It
Proud
is
of how
just
that came out.
Yeah, it almost just I kind of wanted to just grab my hands and go like this. Like I just felt it, like I don't know, like whenever there's areas in songs that are slowed down, I love it because if everything's so quick and so fast, and I know there's breaks and there's a lot of breakdowns on albums and tracks and stuff, but like when it's so early on like this, it just puts me right there, like really early on.
Hell yeah.
It's like fuck yeah, like I'm in this. Like
Yeah,
you guys don't waste any time, and you just go straight to screaming. You just scream right when you start too. I love it.
Nah, I mean, like when we started the band, we managed to hang on to the like we don't want to overstay our welcome with anything. Like if a part is 4, fuck it, cut it into 2. It'll be better as 2. And, like
cool.
Sprinkle in the tempo changes, like not to where it's overwhelming, but where no part overstays its welcome. Like that was always, since we started the band, it was always like a core ethos of the songwriting.
Well, let me break these lyrics down. I've lost that rhythm to dance. I've lost all desires of safety and romance. I haven't felt so pleasant lately. Wreck my head. No poetry emotion, just hopeless emotion. Wreck my head. If there's any way of saving me, here's your last chance.
Pretty uplifting stuff, huh?
Yeah.
I've lost that rhythm, the rhythm to dance. It's funny, I actually relate. It's probably not exactly what you wrote about, but I always felt so uncomfortable dancing in person. Just like regular ass dancing. And then I met my now wife, who is a DJ, and she's into all like EDM and kind of like house music. And when I found the right person who made me just feel like comfortable and being myself, now I love to dance. It's weird how when you're in a weird place in your life and everything kind of just seems dark, how something like just dancing will just be like the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, you know, right off the bat, it's just kind of like the whole song. Like, talking, like going back to what I was saying before, like at that point, like everything was just kind of gray. Like everything felt gray. Like there was no spark to life. So like when we wrote those lines, like it just felt like a really simplistic way of saying like nothing's good right now.
There was no spark to life, is what you said.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no reason. There was no excitement. Nothing to keep you going. Huh?
Yeah, yeah, and there's hints of suicide and all those lines and all that stuff. But like again, like it's just.
You know what? And that's what I thought too when I saw I've lost all desires of safety. That's kind of where my mind went was.
Yeah.
What do you mean by safety? Like safety of your own life, like. And I've lost all desires of safety and romance. I've lost desire in just that personal connection and talking to people and being with people. I've lost the desire of just like playing it safe. Maybe I will just like drink an entire bottle of whiskey one night. Maybe I will, like go drive and be a little reckless with it. Like that's what that line kind of seems to me. It's like I don't even care about the things that I should be caring about right now. I don't care about being happy. I don't care about dancing. I don't care about relationships. I don't care about safety. Like I'm just so in this place right now that just where nothing that most people crave for, I don't even care about.
That's pretty much the nail on the head, my man.
Wow. I haven't felt so pleasant lately. I like that line.
Yeah, that one was just kind of like
I'm not feeling good right now. Stay away.
Yeah, why not? Why not just say the thing? We don't need to make it some like flowery, poetic way of just saying, I don't feel so good.
Yeah, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah,
no poetry emotion, just hopeless emotions. Stay away from me. I haven't felt pleasant. I'm not feeling good. I have no emotion right now. And if there's any way saving me, this is literally your only chance because I am on the verge of just fucking calling it quits right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love how you can still pull the fact that this was probably the fourth set of lyrics and it was coming down to the wire, and there's definitely a lot of like, we got to get this done. We got fucking no inspiration left. Like gas tanks run dry, and we were able to get out this like I love when there's this thing that happens sometimes when you come down to the wire and you have to finish something. It's basically just your subconscious does all the talking.
Yeah.
And then you don't realize what comes out until after you get it out.
Yeah. And sometimes it even takes a couple years, and sometimes it even takes somebody else to point it out and be like, oh shit, I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting.
I think it was after we recorded it, I listened back and I was like, we fucking got it.
Like, this is heavy. This is it.
That's it.
Yeah, sometimes when that pressure is on and you're like, we need to get something out, it's weird kind of what takes over you sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes that pressure is the kind of push that you need to find
it. And I mean,
to kind of find it.
You definitely hear the desperation in the lyrics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And with the screaming of it too, it's like this would feel completely different if it was like a female vocalist and like a piano kind of slow song. Like I can, I can hear Adele's voice just like ripping, like just like ripping it, like singing her voice out, but like turning it into a hardcore song and having some dude just like scream on the top of it just feels so good. It feels good. It feels brutal. It feels like I need to get this out.
Yeah.
Like I am feeling this way, and I'm getting it out by screaming into this fucking microphone right now.
That's the best way to get it out.
Primal.
Love it. Exactly. All right. Well, we still have quite a bit of lyrics to break down, so let's keep rocking out to this. first question that comes to mind: how is the pit during this song?
People, people don't really like. It's weird. People don't really go that hard for us. We have certain songs like "Hopeless Poet," "Craven," "Larynx" where people move, but I feel like how often we change tempos tends to fuck people up. And once people start getting used to the two-step or the circle pit, we throw a 5/4 part at them and they're just like,
wait,
night.
what do we do right now with this?
Yeah.
We get a lot of people just
I can
kind of
see that.
standing there with their arms crossed, making the face and like nodding their head. Which I'll take that all day long, dude.
Yeah.
Like if you're not out in the back smoking cigarettes, like and you're standing there watching, we did it. You know,
your eyes are on us. We appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about this podcast. If your ears are on us right now, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, these lyrics here, there's some more heaviness here. I'll sing. I'm not going to sing it because that's not what I do. I'm going to read these lyrics. I don't get what I want. I don't get what I need. The pleasure of touch is a ravenous need. I've dulled down my pen. I've sharpened my knife. I've broken my fingers because it feels right. Yeah. Is it something in me, a wavering dream? The boundaries of love get lost in the scheme. Will I awake from these night terror shakes? Raise up my head to this goddamn blinding light. So when you say I don't get what I want, I don't get what I need, what are you talking about?
Doubt.
Yeah, this was a lot of this portion is a lot of what Danny kind of pitched in on. So I don't know I can't remember if this was more me or you or an amalgamation of it, but I feel like this whole stanza is a lot of you.
This part's mostly mine, and then you, I think you finished off a couple lines and like took out syllables and added syllables and stuff like that.
Yeah. So Danny, break down let's break down your lyrics a little bit. I don't get what I want, and I don't get what I need. What do you want and need that you're not getting?
Just defeat. At the time where because I wrote, if I remember correctly, I wrote this whole piece way before we even wrote Bungled, because I was kind of just going through like my old journal and like notes to see if I had anything. And if I remember correctly what I was feeling when I wrote that the first time, it was I was at a standstill in my life, where like nothing was happening with, music, career, or just kind of life, love, anything. I just felt like I was this complete standstill. And it was, I guess, just desperation more than anything.
Were those notes written during 2020, or was that a different time?
That I couldn't tell you. Probably would have been around 2020, because that's when I was kind of... Because at the time, I was living by myself, but I was with my ex-girlfriend, so during the lockdown, she would do 2 weeks with me, and then she would go 2 weeks at her place. So then I was literally by myself for like 2 weeks at a time, no human contact, nothing. So I would definitely... It depends. So some days were rough, and then other days I would have, the polite delivery guy dropping off, weed and mushrooms, and I had a great time.
That's one thing that I wish I would have done during COVID 2020. That I would have done in 2020 is more weed and mushrooms. I feel like I would have made it more fun.
I'd say I probably went a little too hard.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I was like, oh, that must be tough. And you're like, and the way you responded to that was, sometimes, because during that time I was with my then wife, and that's when I kind of noticed that our relationship was done. Like when you are stuck with someone, the divorce rate at the end of that year was the highest it's been in a long time. Like physical abuse, mental health facilities, like all that kind of stuff was at an all-time high. And so that's interesting, because when I think about being alone during that time, I think, fuck, that must have been difficult. But I think about my time during 2020 and not being alone and being with someone who I thought hated me, that was rough too.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a grass is greener sort of thing. Yeah. Because being alone is cool for a bit, but then after a while you start going stir crazy. You wish there was just someone there to just kind of spill out whatever random thought that you have going through your head. I liken it a lot to like just pushing something down until it like comes exploding out. Like it fucking destroyed my social skills. Like I remember coming out of the lockdown and everything like that, once things started reopening, shows started coming back. Like I was fucking weird for those first 2, 3 months, just trying to remember.
A lot of
Yeah,
us were. A lot of us
everybody
were.
was.
I remember my first in-person job after that, because like my job during 2020 went remote, and then I did that until the end of 2021. So that was 2 years of working remote. And I remember when I got my first person in job, my first job in person in 2022. I was just like, I don't know, like how do I talk to people right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like my social skills were almost non-existent then. It was wild.
Yeah. I don't, were you like me where you were intaking way too much world politics at the same time too, to where you were kind of like having fucking nervous breakdowns over everything that was happening in the world?
By 2022, no, but definitely by summer with all the riots and everything in 2020 and kind of towards the end of it, absolutely. I think everybody kind of was. And that's when a lot of my great art came out. But like during the other time, yeah, it was just very depressing shit. But
Yeah.
the pleasure of touch is a ravenous need. You need that, huh? And that's that's kind of exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah, I mean that's just full on loneliness.
Yeah,
That's just
alone.
yeah. Yeah, that,
I've been alone for so long, and I'm not getting what I want and what I need. So I've doled down my own pen and my own knife because I've just been so just fucking bored and depressed and out of my mind that I've written down so much stuff that like my notebook the pages are all gone, the pens are broken, the pencils are, all the way down to the core, and it's like I've broken my fingers because of just how much I've been working on just like writing and sharpening. Is it something in me? Is this a dream? Like I get it, dude. I get it. I get these lyrics here.
that's way better than I would have been able to break them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of the touch. Also, it was, a romantic part of it is also an aspect, but to me it was like a general one, like just any sort of touch, like a hug from a friend, or like even I am pretty sure I did write this during the lockdown because I think I was also watching a lot of like Hate 5/6 videos and old like full set videos on YouTube, and just missing like hardcore shows of people stage diving and jumping on top of each other, and like that sort of touch also. Just like, the energy, and then love and affection, and then just, friendship, like all of that. It was just desperation.
The boundaries of love get lost in the scheme. It almost seems like you don't even know how to love anymore.
Yeah.
Will I awake from these night terrors shake? So it's kind of like a nightmare that you're living in, and you don't know which way you're going. Raise up my head to this goddamn blinding light. Would you say that life is the blinding light you're talking about? Just life in general is blinding you just because boundaries are gone and just feeling unhappiness? Or is the blinding light something else?
Brandon, I think those last two lines, those were you.
Yeah. Because that whole like part up before that, like my brain goes to kind of all the same tropes of what all those lyrics means. Like at the time, like not feeling seen, not caring, but also like wanting to care and wanting to have all of these things, and then like all of that racing through your head, and then forcing yourself to wake up, and then yes, I did mean like the wake up, like the blinding light as like life, like, but like also not wanting to look at it.
Yeah, kind of being avoidant of.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to face reality.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hold on. on. I know this is a lyric podcast, but that totally just threw me off for a second. I wasn't expecting that.
The cat?
No. Just the switch up, the jazzy switch up there. I didn't even notice the cat, or else I would have freaked out about. I love cats. I would have freaked out about that too. I was not expecting that. That totally just like.
So part of the reason,
hell bent on loneliness, and then you get into dancing, which is I don't know if this was intentional, but I love how the first lyrics are, "I've lost that rhythm, the rhythm to dance," and then at the end of the song or middle of the song, there's like a jazzy, dancey breakdown. Was that intentional?
No, 100%. So the song is called Bungled, partially because it resonates with kind of the tone of the lyrics of just like, just feeling like mentally, just like you bungled yourself. But the real main reason it's called Bungled is because we were listening to a lot of Mr. Bungle when we were writing the record, and especially our bass player Sid and I are big Mr. Bungle fans.
Okay.
And we got our drummer at the time into Mr. Bungle because it just kind of the genre mashing, kind of going from like crazy circus music to death metal to jazz in 1 second. And we wanted to do a song that did that, where it was like,
Mr. Bungle too. This is awesome. That is
so good.
Cool. Have you guys ever heard of Dog Fashion Disco, like El
Fuck
Rico? Yeah. That's what this reminded me of. There, it reminded me of like a breakdown that like Polka Dot Cadaver or like Polka Dot, like Dog Fashion would have put in. That's cool. And and the talking there brings a whole different vibe of the song too, but it switches it up in the best way. All right, sorry, I knew I said I was gonna stop it after that, but I was just like, wait. I just needed a second. All right, let me go back there.
I wish I could give you the depth of the situation, but I'm only scratching the surface here. I'm actually a very compassionate man, but the thought of being happy. It's medicine I need, but I can't seem to stomach. I'm running out of options. So give me the cure, cause the thought of being happy.
I actually really fucking love this song, you guys. I'm not even kidding. It is so good. It is so good.
Thank you.
But you know what I'm almost expecting too, that it never happened, but I was expecting it, was like a little bit of a laugh. Like, I wish I could give you the depth of the situation, but I'm only scratching the surface here. Like, I was waiting for like a little like a maniacal laugh thrown in there at some point.
See, that would have been fucking perfect. That would have been awesome.
And like little Danny
good.
Elfman, like Nightmare Before Christmas characters kind of laughing in the back. Like, I felt like
better, man.
Because and I'm only saying that too because of like, and I love that you love I love that you know who Dog Fashion Disco is, because they're actually like a big motivation of my music taste growing up for a long time. But I love how serious your voice is here, and when it's dancy, but it's very like, it's probably the deepest, heaviest lyrics of the entire song.
Yeah, this is kind of just very stripped down of like raw, very straightforward lyrical content.
I wish I could give you the depth of the situation, but I'm only scratching the surface here. I'm actually a very compassionate man, but the thought of being happy makes me want to kill myself. It's a medicine I need, but can't seem to stomach. I'm running out of options. So give me the cure, because the thought of being happy makes me want to kill myself. That's rough. That's rough. But you know what though? There's one of my favorite quotes from a song is, "I don't know who I would be if I was happy." Mm-hmm. And it's actually a very serious song. And so that's what this reminded me of, because it said, the thought of being happy makes me not even want to be here, because it almost puts you in a mindset of, you're like, I would be somebody just completely different, not know myself, and not feel comfortable if I was in a place other than where I'm at right now. Deep down and growing up, I was a happy person, and if I can snap out of this, I'm a happy person. But I kind of don't. But I kind of don't want to. I kind of want to sit here in this pain and feel it for a while.
Yeah, I love kind of sitting in my own shit. And my wife is a saint and deals with it and helps me get out of it. But I am usually a very upbeat guy, but there is this thing underneath that's always kind of been there where like I'm like, ah man, like everything kind of shitty, you know?
And then when things get too good, you're just waiting for something bad to happen. So you can
Yeah,
be like, I knew it. You're like, I fucking knew something was going to happen.
Yeah, I was waiting for that other shoe to drop, but or I'll self-sabotage and like
Right.
blow it up because I'm like, this
Yeah.
is too good. What the fuck is going on here? I don't deserve this. No way.
I was the same way for a very long time.
Yeah,
man. I
yeah.
get it. Yeah, I mean, just the thought of being like, okay, I'm going to drop the depressiveness. I'm going to drop the dark lyrics and dark music I listen to. I'm going to stop watching some of the more demonic, evil horror movies that I watch all the time and try to, let some of this light in.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to, really wanted to do that, but a part of me was like, what if I do that? I don't even know who the hell I'm going to be.
Yeah, that's almost scarier.
It is. No, it is. For you to internally be like, if I was happy, I would want to kill myself. The fear of changing and the fear of putting the work in and the fear of just like diving deep into who you are, because you can't really get out of that until you do that like your own personal deep dive and self-reflection and therapy and kind of thing like that. It's hard to get yourself out of it, and so just even thinking about that process just makes me want to be like, well, I'd rather just kill myself than have to go through it.
One of the things that helps the most about when those kind of situations flare up in me internally, like, is stuff like this, where like I can go into a room and scream about it into a microphone and then walk away and feel like, wow, I feel a lot fucking better. It's very cathartic. I've had a lot of past issues with drug issues and depression and all this stuff, and finding the people around you that you can just kind of be very bluntly honest with and be like, hey, I don't feel good right now. And that other person be like, that's okay. Like, what's up? Tell me all the worst shit, whatever, is very helpful.
Yeah, when you have someone in your life or multiple people, if you're lucky enough, where you can be like, hey, you know what? I'm just thinking fuck life right now, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to be here right now. Can you just talk to me for a little bit? And for somebody to be like, yeah, I got you. Those are the real ones, man. Those are people.
Oh, for sure.
Those are the ones that are family.
Mm-hmm.
If that's who you're, if you're going to friends and outside sourcing other than family, like those are the people.
I am lucky where I have both of those, where it's family and friends that I can use both of those as a tool to help with whatever is going on up here,
And it sounds like your emotional kind of support system at home with your wife, I feel like that has been a huge help to you as well.
Oh, absolutely. Our stories are very tandem in where we stand in our thoughts on the world, where we deal with internally as personal issues. We are very, symmetrical in those ways.
That's amazing.
You guys are a power couple.
It is. No. It 100% is, and I know that from experience, because like literally what I was just saying, like during 2020, I was in a marriage, and I was with someone who I thought hated me, and I hated myself. I had no self-confidence and was just destroyed from the inside out. Mm-hmm. And then I met my now wife, and I'm just like, I am the happiest I've ever been. I started this podcast after meeting her. Like, she kind of helped push me to do it. And it was just like, when you have that person in your life who is just like your support system, and hang on to that. That's something special.
100%.
That is very special. So who wrote these lyrics, or did you guys kind of team up together on this?
This one, I would say, it's like 35% me, 65% Brandon.
This was a both situation.
I think the first two lines are me, and the medicine and give me the cure line are me. And the only reason I remember that was because I was trying to shoehorn "Give Me the Cure" as like a Fugazi reference.
Well, I can. It's really important, not only for support systems, but like even in artistic adventures, like joining a band. It's really important for your bandmates and the people who are with you in those moments to also be able to understand what you're feeling and what you're going through. And it seems like you guys have a pretty good relationship, as in like you guys both were kind of going through similar things, and you can write on the same song and the lyrics are still kind of matching up. Like, I'm sure it wasn't like a first time I wrote this and it blends, but you guys like took what you both were feeling and it was like, you know, these feelings are very similar. So not only were you guys able to connect with just on the music part with like the breakdown and the jazzy breakdown and that scream on this part and then that stance on this part, but it was like you guys were also there on the level of just of mindset and just emotions and how you're feeling too. And I feel like that's what makes the best lyrics, is when not only when like one person's kind of the head of it and doing everything, but when you can collaborate and like fully understand where each other's coming from. Those are powerful lyrics. It's a powerful song.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of our, when it comes time to doing vocals for all of our demos, it really is just like a therapy session between me and Brandon.
Yeah,
like, we'll just
awesome.
like we'll play, you know, the instrumental through the monitors, and it'll just kind of be like, so what are you feeling? What's on your mind? What's going on in your life? And like, for example, we have this other song from our second EP called Leeches and Wine. That was, Brandon just came in and he was just like, man, they cut our power. We don't have electricity at the apartment right now. And I was like, fuck it, let's write about it. So we ended up with a song that's basically about like,
fuck AT&T, fuck Edson, fucking Edison,
gotta go
whatever
back
their
to
name is.
Yeah, it's like, gotta go back to a cold house with no fucking power.
Yeah.
But like, the point being is that like,
Con Edison, that's what I was thinking. Fuck Con Edison. All right, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, definitely fuck Con Ed, for sure.
I've never said fuck Con Edison harder than when I lived in New York. I feel like they, there was I forget what show we were watching, but someone was like, yeah, they definitely put the con in Con Edison. And I always thought about that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's probably accurate. Con artist over there.
Dude, 1 month I'd be running my AC the whole month, and I'm paying like, you know, like $150, and then the next month I don't turn on the AC at all, and my bill's $200. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Dude, we had a bill 1 month, and we fought it and we won. But they wanted to.
I didn't know you could fight it.
It was not easy. I'll tell you that.
Oh, man.
It was not a phone call and an email and we got reimbursed. I'll tell you, that's not what it was at all. But there was 1 month they charged us like $800 for AC during the summer.
That's crazy.
And we were just livid.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't want to relive this trauma right now. I'm trying to be in a better place. But they definitely put the con in Con Edison.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's keep rocking out just for the hell of it, because I loved it. I just want to go back and listen to that. I wish I could give you the depth of the situation part real quick. This is the first time I've done this in a podcast before, where I've gone back just because I wanted to hear it again.
Oh yeah, man.
Like an entire like verse like this. Like, I've never done that.
Dude, honored.
For the hell of it,
Yeah,
I
that's
want to
awesome.
do it because I feel like dancing a little bit, huh? Let's back it up.
It's medicine I need, but I can't seem to stomach. I'm running out of options.
No. We gotta go.
Passionate man, but I'm only scratching the surface here. I'm actually very compassionate man, but the thought of being happy. It's medicine I need, but I can't seem to stomach. I'm running out of options. So
Ooh, that
give me
bass.
the cure, 'cause the thought of being happy.
Woo! One more
I
time.
can give you the depth of the situation, but I'm only scratching the surface here. I'm actually very compassionate man,
I literally love this song. I think I'm gonna listen to it again once we get off this interview.
Hell yeah.
I love that part. I want to kill myself. It's just like it's that like rush of like adrenaline, and it's just like, let's go, dude. And like I felt it when you were saying, wreck my head. It's just like, I don't know. You guys just have these moments in here where it's just that moment of just letting it out. Like, I am so pissed, and I'm just so in my head right now, and I want to let it out. Like, I don't want to kill myself, but I want to sing. I want to scream. I want to kill myself because it'll make me feel better.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about this song where it just like it. First off, it makes you want to listen to it again, but it also makes you like. There's certain moments where it's just, I needed that. I feel like I needed that.
That's awesome.
That's a great fucking song. It is a great song.
Thank
I love
you,
it a lot. But all right, so the last lines in here is "Death's in my bones. It's where I feel at home. Death's in my bones. It's where I always feel the least alone. This is not a test. This is code red at best. Death in my bones. It's where I feel at home.
That's kind of going.
Yeah. Break that one down for me.
That's kind of going back to where, like how I said earlier, like where like I almost enjoy sitting in my misery. You know what I mean? Like I feel so shitty. Like I will go out of my way to not do something to make me that I know will make me feel better because I want to sit here and be like, fuck this.
I just want to sit here and die.
Yeah,
like this is my coffin.
Yeah. So it's kind of just like I'm my own worst enemy, and I don't care, and I'll sit in it all day and whatever.
Yeah, I love that you said that too, because one of the things that come up almost in every episode is the fact that we do this to ourselves.
Yeah.
A lot of this, and exactly going back to what you were saying earlier about self-sabotaging thoughts. It's like doing this to myself, and I know it.
Mm-hmm.
It's making me very unhappy, but if I were to exit this feeling and try to be a happier person, I feel like that'll fuck things up even more for me. So I'd rather just be in this bad spot, and it is what it is.
Yes, to me, it's also I kind of like look at it like I'm carrying around this bag of shit with me, and if I go to be happy, that means I can't like turn around and look at the bag. I got to work through everything that's in the bag. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's almost like this weight that like
I was just gonna say it's all the baggage that you're carrying around with you.
But it's like baggage that like for me, where I'm coming from on it is kind of like it's baggage that I kind of want to work through and confront rather than just kind of drop it and be like, oh, I'm just gonna go be happy now. You know, I feel like there's a little bit more lessons to be learned and wisdom and longevity in happiness through working through some of like the darkest thoughts that you have, as opposed to just.
Dude, it's a whole new world. Once, if you're, for those who have been in the lowest of low, and thinking, suicidal thoughts, depressive thoughts, and then being able to work through that is the toughest thing you can do. If you think wanting to die, and like, end everything is the hard part and is the hardest thing to do, it is not. It's the easy way. It's the easy thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a strong fucking person to be like, you know what? I have no clue how long it's going to take me, but I have to get through my own head right now. Because if I don't, then it's over.
Yeah, for sure.
This is actually one of the... This one and I think Hopeless are the only kind of end on a dour note. Where like most of the songs, like the meat and potatoes would be like, bad, I feel bad. But then there's like a glimmer of hope at the end kind of thing. Like I usually try to turn it around and be like, things are going to get better. Things are cool or whatever. But like this one and Hopeless like are the ones that kind of end where it's just like, we're done here.
Yeah, this is not a test, so I'm not messing around. This is code red because I am at the very bottom.
Yeah.
And I need somebody like right now. Tough. I've been there many times.
Yeah. And like you said, like, and then when you do work through it and get out of it, it feels fucking superb, man. It's such a good thing. And dude, it's hard, especially when you're like really in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Do you feel, Brandon, that you've been able to kind of work yourself out of it?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I have no aspirations at all ever to commit suicide. I've dealt with the worst of the worst. I did heroin for many, many years and was really, really low and like tried to do it a couple times, but like not really tried to do it, just like, and I've gotten myself out of that and been away from it for many, many years. And like,
Good.
Those are the things that I have to remember and talk about to make me, when I do feel these ways, be like, this is nothing compared to what the fuck that was.
I was just going to say,
like,
getting through something like that makes you really reflect on your life and be like, if I can get through that,
yeah, nothing else matters. Like
not getting that promotion or, having to wait in traffic or, any of these like really small things that don't matter whatsoever just become a non-problem.
Yeah, everything is easy street compared to that time. But that doesn't, I don't want to like take away from it, but because there are tough times, but like,
exactly.
They'll always be. I know that like it will pass. Like I just have to kind of sit with it and deal with it. And then like, you have your grumpy days for a couple days and then something will happen or whatever. And like, I have a wonderful wife. I have a home with my beautiful wife. I have a daughter. Like there's all these beautiful things that literally I am immersed in all the time.
Yeah. Things that are bigger than you that you need to, be there for and take care of. And,
I am a person though that does suffer from mental health stuff with depression and anxiety and stuff, and those things flare up, and you just have to know the right tricks to kind of deal with it. You can't beat yourself up when you do get stuck in it. You just have to know that it's going to kind of fade. And you do eventually have to get off your couch and take a shower and feed yourself and smile or just put comedy on and try to laugh and then it gets better.
How about you, Danny? How has your experience been from writing lyrics like this to where you're at in your life now?
Yeah, definitely a lot better. I met a woman that I'm still with 2 years ago that's kind of helped bring a lot of like light into my life.
Shout out to the ladies, man. All three of us. We've all gone through something really hard, and then we just find that one woman who just turns our life around. What a special thing, huh?
My girlfriend came into my life, and then she kind of just started kicking my ass. Like, nope, you're not allowed to be fucking unhappy. You're not allowed to sit here and fucking wallow.
We need that though. Like, you know what I mean? Like as men, we need that. We need someone to be like, stop fucking around and get your shit together. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you got it. Yes.
But then I also was able to learn that like whenever I feel like I'm getting low and I'm kind of getting into these like the same patterns again, to kind of be creative. Because if I pick up a guitar or open up a laptop and fire up Photoshop or whatever creative I have kicking around, and I just immerse myself in it for an hour, I'll be able to get it out of me, and I'll feel better for. Until the next time I feel like that.
Yeah, I was. So that was going to be literally the next thing I was going to say is it sounds like even though you both have had very hard times in your life that you've gone through, and I'm sure there was a lot of nights that were rougher than others, but ultimately a way that you guys found to get through that is just writing down some song lyrics, and that was just the start of it. And then it's like, okay, I've distracted myself with these bad thoughts on writing them down, and I've dulled my own pen because there's so many of them. I'm writing them down because it's a great way to get it out. But also now I know that there's other steps, and recording or taking it to the band or getting my partner's thoughts. Like there's all these different levels, so it keeps your mind distracted. And I think writing music is one of the best things you can ever do for yourself in a time like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, for me, like a lot of my kind of depressions, they come from my upbringing. Like I come from a Polish family, so everything is very Eastern European, kind of stoic, cold. You push everything down, so it was a lot of kind of growing up kind of being like really sensitive and hyper empathetic and having a lot of feelings towards things, and then kind of being in an environment that I wasn't able to properly get it out right, that music kind of became like this like a savior to me, where I was able to just kind of get it all out like en masse, and it was just always like a faucet that, you know, like I'm able to just turn it on and then just let all the water drain out, you know, like that gross brown water at first until you get it like nice and clean, and then everything's good.
To me, music has always kind of metaphorically been a punching bag. It's a place where I can go to I can just let it all out. I can be angry. Sure. I can scream. You know, makes me want to kill myself, or, you know, I can scream these things, but not actually want that for myself, but just needing a place to say it and release it and get it out.
Absolutely.
Like this song right here could be, you know, one of my boxing songs that I listen to when I do that. I can totally see myself like, oh, I want to come with. Okay, so since you both were in a, you know, rough time during this and writing these lyrics, now looking back on it, how do you guys see this song now? You know, now looking back a couple years later and being kind of in a completely different mindset that you are now. How does, besides how exhausting it is to play it, like when you're on stage and you're like letting these vocals out, and, you know, when you've presented these kind of dark thoughts to the world and you let everybody know where your mind was, and it's a very you know, sensitive topic, and it's a very emotional, and letting it out to the world is a very powerful thing. How did it feel releasing it, first off, when you first put it out? And part two of the question is, how do you feel now, years later, looking back at it?
Releasing it, like doing it in the studio, was tricky because it's not live. Like doing the studio is like very, you know, you're in a room with a couple other people and it's kind of intimate, but it's also embarrassing. But when the work was done, it feels fantastic. Live, when we're doing it, like all of our songs, like I kind of channel, or I try to, like, the emotion of the song, because I have to deliver the lyrics in an emotional way. I don't want to just go through the motions of saying the words and like yelling. Like, I have to feel those emotions to project it so people can have an experience, or I hope that they feel what I'm feeling. You know, whatever their personal feelings are their own, you know, whatever, how they interpret the words or whatever, but I have to channel that a little bit to get it out properly. And also selfishly, because I need to get that reminder and it makes me feel good, and, you know, all of those things. So I kind of like try to channel this shitty time and being angry and letting that explosive emotion come through, you know, the microphone.
I like how you just said it makes me feel good.
Oh yeah, man.
What a wild kind of, you know, turnaround there from being in a spot where nothing felt good to getting through that hard time, writing about it, singing it, making art, putting it out, and now you're on a stage with your band singing it, and it feels good. Life is fucking wild.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's, you know, the weird thing about one art and like and depression and stuff like that. Like, if you do the thing that you think is going to be the hardest thing, that is the thing that's usually going to make you feel better in the end.
Yeah, it's the tough shit you don't want to. It's the tough stuff you don't want to go through. Just like what we were saying of going through that like spiritual kind of journey, finding yourself, and, you know, and diving deep into past traumas and stuff. A lot of people don't want to push through that kind of stuff. And how about you, Danny?
I mean, now I look back on the song, and weirdly enough, I look at it. It's like a positive song, for as depressing as it is, because of like it's just like this release, you know. When we first released the song, I don't know. I don't really remember how I felt getting it out. I think it was more of just the feeling of like finally getting music out there was overwhelming, kind of how people interpreted the lyrics. But now in hindsight, like, yeah, I look at this song as like just screaming the negative feelings into the ether and releasing something positive. Like, I remember, just to sidestep for a second, I went and saw this punk band I like a lot, Off With Their Heads, at the Kingsland a few years ago.
That's a great name.
They're fantastic. Like if you just like catchy, melodic, like upbeat sounding music with really fucking depressing lyrics, they're the band.
Okay, cool.
But they have this song called Nightlife, and the lyrics are very depressing. Like there's no positive uptick. It's very just like I'm just I hate myself is basically the entire song. But I remember there was this moment where I'm standing in the back, kind of, cool guy with my fucking arms crossed, and I'm watching the people up front in front of the singer, and they're all have their arms around each other, all surrounding the singer off with their heads. Everyone's smiling while singing the most negative lyrics in the world. And I kind of got overwhelmed. Like I got a little teary-eyed because it was like, that's the fucking healing power of music right there. To be able to take your darkest thoughts and like the most negative, shitty, just self-loathing feelings that you have, and just being able to spill them out, it becomes this catharsis for all these people in the room. And now you're all screaming out the emotion together.
And that's
like,
how people feel listening to your music too.
I hope so. I mean, I hope they get that out of Bungled. That's certainly how we
it's
feel.
literally what I just felt, and I needed to hear it again because I felt so good, like saying
Dude,
that
awesome.
and listening to it and hearing it. I'm like, I need to hear this for like a third time now. Like, no, like it's legitimate. Like what you're talking about of witnessing with another artist's art and music is what people feel listening to yours now, and those kind of songs.
Yeah, we hope so.
Crazy.
We definitely feel that way. Finally being able to get the song out and perform it this much time later.
Off with their heads though. I got to check them out.
They're sick. I love that band. Start with Home. That's the record to start with them.
Where are they? Are they from New York too? I forget if you said it there where they were from.
I want to say they're from Minneapolis. I'm pretty sure they're a Minneapolis band. They could be Chicago, but somewhere in the Midwest.
Oh, okay, cool. Love the Midwest. Okay, so another question for you both. What advice would you give to somebody who wants to use music as a form of therapy, or and whether it's they want to be in a band or just for themselves, just the idea of creating music as art to release some of your deepest pain? How would you tell somebody to start if they came to you for advice?
First thought, best thought. Don't
Sorry?
stoop. The first thought, best thought.
Oh, first thought, best. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't stew too long on trying to come up with a better idea.
I like
The
that.
first thing that comes to you is going to be your purest idea. So stick to that and just refine it. And just be honest. Don't try to be anybody else. Just everything sucks at first. Like you got to let it suck. But everything is progressively going to keep getting better and more honest and more to where you want it to be. And I've always been kind of
and I love that you said that, because not only are you giving that as advice, but that's actually what you did. Like you guys started as wanting to pay homage to some of your other favorite bands and maybe thinking that's how you needed to sound, but then you're like, you know what, no, let's be bored. Like let's do what we want to do. And it seems like since you guys have kind of made that change, like you said, it was kind of a blessing in disguise. Like it helped guide your band to like this new path that's more you and more raw and more emotional and more just authentic. So I love that that's the advice that you're giving, because not only are you giving that advice, but that's actually what you did as well.
Yeah, I do feel a little hypocritical giving that advice, though, as we're talking about a song that was on its fourth set of lyrics.
But no, I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of just refining it, and that's what happens when you are, when you collaborate with other people.
Yeah, the sentiment stayed the same the whole time.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. How about you, Brandon? What would your advice be?
My advice would be, if you want to get into music, just get into it. Just do it. Don't worry about how shitty you sound playing or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Practice and skill will come in time. Just do it. Whether it's writing, or whether it's noodling on a guitar or playing a fucking clarinet. Like, it doesn't matter. Just
Clarinets
pick it up.
rock.
Just pick it up. If it's something that you want to try, or you want to just make weird sounds in your living room, go for it, man. It doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. To piggyback off of the being honest thing, when I first started getting into becoming a vocalist and writing and stuff, one of the best pieces of advice that someone gave me was just be honest with your lyrics. Don't pull punches. Don't say whatever you think someone thinks you should say. Say the thing that's inside your soul, because it's the only way it's going to make any kind of difference. And even if no one sees it, it'll make a difference in you, like how you feel. It'll change the chemistry of the inside of your body. Like, it literally changes how you feel and how you look at the world, how you look at yourself and the people around you.
It's a release.
Absolutely.
Just saying the words out loud. It's literally getting them out.
Yeah. And don't worry about if you spell shit wrong or whatever, or if you like read it back and like you're super embarrassed about it, fucking throw it in the trash. Who cares? I write lyrics all the time on Post-it notes. And I'm like, oh, that'll be cool. And I'll look at it later and be like, that's dumb. Throw it away. But like, I wrote it down. Don't not write it down because you're afraid to write it down. Write it down.
And I love how you guys decided to go the route of that like jazzy breakdown, because that's exactly what you're talking about. You're like not caring. It's what we want to do. It'll be fun and it rocks. Let's just do it. Who cares what everybody else thinks? Because it definitely stands out and it's different. Not a lot of artists do stuff like this.
That's all and so the other guys. I fought tooth and nail not to do it. Like, I don't fucking want to do this. Not that I didn't think it was cool. It's
my favorite part of the song, to be honest.
I didn't trust my ability to make the part cool, and once Danny finally got me to do it, like, I was
no,
like,
but it's
right.
cool because you have this deep voice, and so when you talk, it's like people listen. No matter really what you're saying, it's like this guy has a deep, dark voice, and if he says something, people are going to listen to it.
No, but see,
not everybody has that voice.
I've been telling him for years. Like, he always still to this fucking day maintains that like I can just scream, but like I hear the dynamic he has in his voice. Like I hear he can do that like Nick Cave kind of Jim Morrison type of like Iggy Pop drawl. He can do the kind of like manic preacher and stuff like that.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna hire you to do some voiceovers for a movie sometime.
Dude, he'll kill it.
Dude, I would love to do that. 100%, I would love to do that.
Hell yeah.
He will kill it. But then also going back to what Brandon was saying about like being honest, like when we're writing, I can't tell you how many times like we're stuck and I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. I got these lyrics here, just do these, and he'll be like, no, because I don't relate to them. And it's like and I don't take it personally because I don't take it as like these lyrics are ass. He's honest about it. He's like, I'm reading these and I don't really resonate with them.
Yeah, you have to respect it, whether you agree with the style of the way the song goes, but you also have to respect the person who is the one saying them.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%.
Because
100%.
I mean, when I look at my favorite bands, a lot of the times, my first thought kind of just goes to the lead singer and the main vocalist. Because for me, lyrics have always been the strongest lyrics of any song for me. And I like to figure out who is singing them, what their story is. For example, Corey Taylor of Slipknot. But before I knew his background, like I love Slipknot, of course. But then once I got to know his personal story and what makes him write the kind of lyrics he does, it made me appreciate the band and him that much more. So whenever bands can be like, you know what, yeah, we collaborate on lyrics, but ultimately it's kind of the one who's singing them and saying them is the one who has to be the one who like delivers them. And if we can relate to that person, then that just makes that like that personal connection with the fans even stronger. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any album that's more genuinely pissed off than that first Slipknot record. Like you hear it in every performance, in every fucking vocal. That is probably the most honest, one of the most honest records ever written or recorded.
It is, and I think it was last summer they did their 25th anniversary of that album. They did a tour of that, and I was there, and they did the entire album from front to back, every single song on it, and just there was a lot of pissed off Slipknot fans in the crowd because they wanted to hear some of the newer stuff or some of the stuff off of Iowa or something. But no, they literally only played their first album. That was it. And
Wonderful.
I loved it. Being able to hear some of those songs that help get me through really tough times that aren't some of the ones that they ever play live. And so to being able to get that emotion out with those lyrics 25 years later, it was still as powerful as it was 25 years ago to me.
Dude,
It's so crazy.
to this day, someone could throw on Sick, and just immediately I'm fucking punching the walls to the rhythm of the drums.
Dude, so if you're in the world of Slipknot, you like that music, I'm sure you must at some level like the band Mudvayne.
I love the first two albums.
So
love the first two albums.
Yeah.
I fucking hate everything after the second album.
Interesting. I'll definitely argue that with you on that in a second. But so LD50, their first full length album, is celebrating 25 years this year. So I'm seeing them. I'm seeing them in Boston on Saturday.
That's with Static X, right?
LD50 25th anniversary show.
God, 25 years. What the fuck?
That's with Static X, right?
Yeah, Static X and Vended. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, Static X is doing. I think it's also their 25 years of Wisconsin Death Trip.
Oh shit! It sucks. Wayne's
wild.
not going to be there, but
it sucks
and
Wayne's
half
not
of
there.
Slipknot's not going to be there either.
Yeah. I will say though, with Static X, how they're doing it, where it's the guy from Dope who basically sounds exactly like him and was a good friend of his, that he's kind of like, I don't know what to describe it, if he's like fucking dressing up like Wayne Static's ghost or whatever. But
he
they
kind of has that look for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like they do a really good job at honoring it. And I haven't seen Static X since they came back with Etzel Dope, but all the videos I've seen and everything I've heard from people that have went to go see them, they're fucking great right now.
I'm stoked. I also love Dope. So it's just a cool thing for me. But yeah,
that was my first show.
Dude, one of the shows that I of course didn't go to, but not of course because I was 10 years old or something like that. Yeah, I was 10 years old when these albums came out, but it was Mudvayne opening up for Slipknot, and they had pretty much nothing but LD50 in their first LP EP before that, and then Slipknot headlines playing their first album, and to go back 25 years to see Mudvayne at their prime and Slipknot at their prime together, and no one knew who the fuck they were. It's just a wild thought to me. And I'm okay, yeah, let's go celebrate 25 years now. What?
Man,
Did you ever see?
That's insane.
Did you ever see the video on YouTube of Mudvayne? I think it was either the day LD50 came out or the week it came out at CBGB's.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
You got to watch that video because that's I'll go back to that video at every couple months.
Is it pretty brutal or what?
It's so good. It's so fucking good. They sound great. Ryan Martini is one of the best bass players of all time. I'll die on that hill.
There's not many, but there's a tour that went on right around this time, maybe I don't know 20. It wasn't exactly 25, maybe 20 years from now. But it was Pledge of Allegiance tour with Mudvayne, Slipknot, and System of a Down.
I think I remember.
Oh my god, what a just stacked fucking! And I just saw System of a Down 2 months ago too. That's funny. So yeah, I saw Slipknot a year ago, System of a Down a couple months ago, and now Mudvayne. But yeah, there was a Pledge of Allegiance tour, and I think Static X might have even been on that original bill too.
Yeah,
I feel like I remember. Was that band Amen on it also?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but dude, it's funny. System of a Down, we covered Sweet Pea on a split that we did 2 years ago, and we put it on as a throwaway. And I remember telling my girlfriend at the time, that watch, we have our favorite song on it, which is this song called Craven, but no one's gonna give a shit about Craven, and they're gonna go straight to our half-ass recording of Sweet Pea. And lo and behold, it's literally still, I think, the second most streamed song that we have.
Nice. Well, it's so funny. A lot of bands kind of when they do covers, it kind of helps start them in ways, because they're like it's a track that everybody knows, and sometimes you like hearing songs that you know. There's been so many times I'll go to YouTube and just be like, oh, I put in Wait and Bleed cover and see like what people are doing and how they're doing it these days or whatever, and just like find some random band that I didn't know about before. I'm like, man, you guys are good, and I'll go and listen to them. Like a lot of bands that I know kind of started that way. It's pretty interesting.
I mean,
did either of you go to the System of a Down and Korn show at MetLife?
Nah.
No.
No. Oh, okay.
Nah,
I
would.
That would have been cool.
I was thinking about it. I almost scooped, but because me and my girlfriend, we went to go to MetLife, I think the week before, to see My Chemical Romance, and I was burnt out on MetLife Stadium, and with all due respect to My Chemical Romance, but like their fans can be a little bit much. So I was like, I didn't have it in me to do the trip again, and then I'm kind of happy I didn't go because the seats that I was looking at were right around where that dude got caught jacking off during the show.
Oh yeah,
I saw that
right.
clip.
So I would have probably bore witness to that.
Bore what did you say?
Bore witness.
Bore witness. Yeah. Anyway, man. I mean, these band Korn, System, Slipknot, Mudvayne, all these bands, and 25 plus years later, we're still talking about them and their music and how powerful it is. The power of music, you guys, it's wild.
Yeah.
So, what's next for Bore? What do you guys got coming up? New singles, new album, new shows, new covers. What is going on in the life of Bore?
We actually have a bunch of stuff. Danny, you want to take it? You want to do it?
Yeah, we got.
I wrote down all the dates while we were talking before, just so I didn't fuck them up.
Sick, hell yeah! We're coming out with our next single, with the music videos dropping on Monday for a song called Deadbed, and then November 7th, Feral comes out in its entirety. 2026, we're just going to do a whole bunch of touring. We got a short run lined up in January with our friends in Toothless. That's like an East Coast run. Another East Coast run.
That's a cool name.
Dude, Toothless is sick. They're a well-smart band from PA.
I can see their album cover just being like somebody smiling with no teeth and their gums just like bleeding and just like smiling with no teeth.
That's not that far off, actually, from a lot of their art.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love it. That's so cool.
They have a lot of that, like, kind of like gothic graphic sort of like, you know, like evil looking art. We're not like where it's like cheesy metal.
Yeah,
but it's that like Edgar Allan Poe kind of fucking creepy aspect to it.
All right, so Off With Their Heads and Toothless.
Toothless, definitely.
Yeah, Toothless is cool shit.
All right, I gotta check.
They're gonna be right. They're label mates with us, right? They're gonna be on Silent Pendulum with us.
I don't know if we can.
Album.
I don't know if we can say that.
Are we allowed to say that? Maybe we.
I don't know.
We're not allowed to say that. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's just say it and let Travis.
I can cut it out if you guys want me to. It's all good.
Leave it in.
All right, we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it. That's what we're gonna
leave
do.
it.
But yeah,
go.
So November
I love how
7th,
excited you both are to talk about your stuff. I love it.
So Danny said November 7th the album drops. November 8th the next day. Our friends at 27A Brewery in Lindenhurst in Long Island are brewing us a custom beer, and we're gonna do a listening party at the brewery with them.
What's the brewery called?
The brewery's called 27A Brewery. It's in Lindenhurst in Long Island. And then we have one other show November 23rd at Amityville Music Hall with our friends from Boston and Actor Observer and More of Myself to Kill, Necropia, Soul Searcher, and there's one other band.
Desolate Sun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then runs all through the next year and writing and, you know, all that good shit.
Yep. Yeah, we're the March we're gonna have a run, East Coast run with our friends in Lost Becomes. We're kind of figuring it out, but August we're gonna kind of try to do our most like extensive tour to date. So that we'll probably try to hit like as many cities and towns that we haven't yet in that interim. So, but we're just we're still figuring out.
Yeah.
How exciting! How exciting! How do you guys? How are you guys feeling right now about the album dropping in just like 2 months from now, or like less than 2 months from now? How are you feeling about it?
Oh, dude,
it's chaotic.
Relief. It's chaos, but it's dude, I can't wait until it's out and I can just like finally take a breath.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
'cause
and
the whole
I'm sure you guys have had friends or family or close people in your lives listen to it. At least listen to some of it. What is the kind of um, reaction from it so far? Like how people received it, or are you kind of keeping it low key and like no one's listening to it?
No,
except you guys?
people already have it in hand. So when we signed the Silent Pendulum, we did the vinyl run and everything, and the vinyl just got released a couple weeks ago, and
I got to pick one of those up.
yeah, one of the variants sold out. There's 2 variants left. Plus, we have our own band variant that you can only get through us. But everybody that has heard it has been it's been pretty positive. I'm
cool.
getting messages from people in other states being like, yo, my friend in Texas is listening to you guys. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy. Like, what? So far all very good, and we got a good reception on the Every Time I Die Reddit page, which is usually a pretty tough sell.
yeah.
So Brandon, you talk about you have a daughter. You said you have a daughter.
I do. I have a 2-year-old.
How old?
Yes. She will be 2 in
2. Okay.
weeks. Yeah.
I was gonna say like what is her thought on her dad's album, but I don't think she can really have that big of an opinion on it yet.
I played the video, the Hopeless Poet video, and she goes, no likes. So far not great.
Okay, all right. Well, you'll work on that. How about people you've shown in your side in your corner over there, Danny?
I've been since we got like not even the final master, since we got the final mixes. I've just been like sending it to anybody like that I'm friends with that'll listen to it, and the reception has been basically universally like really good.
That is so cool.
But I'm very suspicious because whenever someone's like, "Oh, dude," they sing praises, I'm like, I don't know if I believe you. Just you're being nice.
I mean, you guys literally saw my own like first reaction to this song, and I'm not even kidding. I fucking love this song.
Hell yeah,
thank you, man. That's awesome.
And I'm stoked to hear the new album. And I was already thinking, I'm like, okay, well, album comes out in a couple months, maybe around January or something like that. We can like do a breakdown, or in December. Well, probably January. We could do like another breakdown of one of your new tracks off the new album, help kind of release it and push it.
That would be dope. That'd be awesome. I would happily do that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, we have the title track of the record is the song called Feral. That's probably like, not counting the hidden track, it's like 4.5 minutes. That's probably like our densest like song, like all together. Like it has like even more kind of like vibe changes than Bungled has, and the lyrics are of a similar sort of kind of diving inward.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're as depressing, but it's definitely introspective.
So where can everybody like find you after this roller coaster of a ride of Bungled?
All our socials are just at a band called Bore. Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook is the only one that's facebook.com/Bore Hardcore. And that's only because when we first started, we had our first drummer insisted that we were only a hardcore band. So he made all of our stuff Bore Hardcore. And after he left, we're like, we're not really a hardcore band, so let's just change it to a band called Bore. But that's the one domain we've been stuck with.
I kind of like the name, a band called Bore.
That's how cool. That's how I always introduce us as a band, because I'm always like, I always think it's weird, like, we're Bore. Like, I'm like, it's just like saying it with my mouth feels weird. So I'm just like, oh, we're a band called Bore. Yeah. And then that's kind of that's where that kind of came from.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like it. Like your T-shirt should even say a band called Bore. That'd be really cool.
Listen, our backup plan is if, because there's a bunch of rappers and DJs also named Bore in like South America and the Middle East. Okay. So the day one of them come at us with a cease and desist, we're officially just a band called Bore.
Yeah.
I love it. You already have a backup plan.
Yeah, it's going to be the same block letter Bore font, except with a band called really small right on top.
All right, well, you heard it from them, everyone. November 7th, their new album, Feral, drops. if you liked anything at all that you heard on Bungled, you're going to love the new album. Definitely check it out. Album release party December 20th at Gold Sounds in Brooklyn. Be there. I'll be there. So come hang out, pick up some merch, and keep an eye out for everything these guys got going. Guys, thank you for sharing your story. It's not an easy thing to do, you know, and we've never met before. So being able to be like, you know, let me tell you some of my deepest stuff. You know, it's definitely it shows how not only does it show how strong you guys are, but how far you've come in your kind of personal journeys here to be at a place where you're just willing to talk about it and open to talk about it. So, I mean, that's a huge W for just you personally. And I'm sure all that stuff is, you know, it works itself into the band and keeps you guys more productive and creative and inspired. So that's awesome. It was great seeing how you guys were able to flip your rough times into something positive and even say words were like, you know, it makes me feel good singing these things. Like that is, like, that's the perfect example of using music as therapy and as a way to release some of these bad thoughts and emotions and turn it into something creative and positive, because you never know what's going to happen. These guys started in 2018 and now we're talking about their next album already. So use this for motivation for anybody listening. Guys, Danny, Brandon, thank you so much. Best of luck with everything. I will see you at Gold Sounds for sure. But hopefully, you know, hope nothing best for the album release and everybody receives it great, and nothing but success for you guys. And we'll do this again early next year for one of the songs off the new album.
Definitely, man.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for having us, man. This was a blast. This was really cool.
Yeah, dude.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, you guys.